IVM.
Hello, welcome, and Khushamadid. You're listening to The Note with me, Mahrukh Inayat. We're running out of oxygen. We can't breathe. We have 100 patients on critical oxygen supply and only 2 hours of oxygen supply, said one hospital. They will die, said another doctor, breaking down. SOS messages that will shake the strongest and the most heartless of us have been doing the rounds on social media, on any possible avenue, be it television, radio. In America, one man said he can't breathe, and the social narrative of the country was questioned. In India, hundreds are gasping for air, and there is still zero accountability. Now, how did we reach here? We declared COVID-19 as a health emergency in March of last year, more than a year back. We went into lockdown, which many now call premature and so on. However, we were made to believe till early March this year that we had won over Corona. The lockdown had worked, the measures had worked, we were over it. So anyways, going back to March last year, we went into lockdown. There was Janta curfew followed by complete lockdown, so on and so forth. But imagine, it was only in October, a good 7.5 months later, that the center floated a tender to set up what are called as pressure swing absorption oxygen plants. These are essentially plants that put pressure on air to create oxygen. I'm putting it very simply in layman terms, to make these oxygen cylinders, or medical oxygen as it's called. Now, the center floated a tender to have 150 such oxygen plants set up across the country. Later, according to another report, 12 more were ordered. So in all, 162 such plants should have been set up. First of all, this decision came too late. It should have come much earlier, knowing that Corona affects the lungs and there was an extreme amount of medical oxygen being used in hospitals across the country. The tender was floated in October, remember, 7.5 months later. Now, as per an investigation done by news portal scroll.in, can you imagine only 11 units have been installed? Of the 162 for which money was already given out by PM Care Fund, only 11 have been installed, and of those, only 5 are operational. No one followed up, no one checked, the bureaucracy didn't work, the state governments didn't look at it, the center that had floated the tender did not follow up. Sheer incompetency. They have not been set up, they're all over the place. States that are struggling today, UP, Gujarat, Maharashtra, all across the country, Delhi, where these plants had to be set up, nothing has happened. Now, in the meantime, as the second COVID wave has hit, the Modi government has announced that 100 more such plants should be set up. When they will be set up, how they will be set up, one only knows, but this announcement has been made. Now, the troubling part, this is the problem. The problem is that the government body saw that such a need existed, but it took its time to float this tender. Was this discussed? Did the government even know that we needed oxygen at the rate that we do? The answer is very clear. A few days into the first wave of Corona in March 2020, there was an empowered group of officers who felt the need, they saw the need for medical oxygen, and they directed the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, which is called DPIIT, to look into this. The DPIIT, along with the CII, the Confederation of Indian Industries, was supposed to look into medical oxygen and see the demand and make sure that the supply is in place. This happened in April 2020, just a few days into the pandemic. Then even the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health. Remember that the Parliament has several committees on various issues. These committees have members both from the ruling party as well as from the opposition. So the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health actually flagged the issue of availability as well as affordability of medical oxygen, and they asked the government to encourage adequate production of oxygen and ensure that the supply of oxygen is as per the demand in the hospitals. So this was not that the government was caught unawares. This issue of medical oxygen, the point that I'm trying to make, was discussed right from the onset of the pandemic, from April itself. But you know what? What is the answer then? Our political class, our bureaucracy, they thought corona is dead. Their statements indicated as much. Our health minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, in April this year said that this is over. We have fought the corona. We are now going to become the vaccine capital of the world. Now let's cut to what is happening right now. These cries for help. The maximum cries for help, as we know and is being reported, are coming from Delhi. We don't even know what the situation is in UP and other states. 3 other states, Gujarat, like I said, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, they're also facing a critical shortage of oxygen. And Maharashtra, where the second wave actually, was the highest, was peaking, it is also seeing depleting resources. On Wednesday, the High Court actually rebuked the center over the oxygen crisis in Delhi. And it said, whether you have to beg, borrow, or steal, make sure that the oxygen reaches hospitals. Why is the court telling the central government this? Because even though health is a state subject, which means that the state government has to look into it, the central government is, after all, the government that runs this country. And it has immense resources. It can immediately redirect industrial oxygen or oxygen being used for industrial purposes towards medical purposes, but that was not being done, which is why the court had to come in. Haryana, till Thursday, was playing politics over oxygen tankers and stopping it from going into Delhi. And do you know that the Home Secretary had to actually invoke the Disaster Management Act 2005 to ensure that no oxygen supply or carriage is blocked? Now, this is the situation. On the one hand, the government was aware that medical oxygen will be required in certain quantity. They even spoke about it. The relevant authorities were discussing it, but it did not translate to action on the ground. Number 2, politics is being played over the oxygen that is available. Some states are not giving it because they realize that they might have depleting resources themselves. The government is not moving it from industrial use to medical use, which is why the courts are coming in. Now, another question one would ask is, what could have been done? What could governments have done, state governments have done? Are they so helpless that they couldn't have done anything? Here is an example of Kerala, which has shown the way literally. Kerala has reported, in fact, a surplus of medical oxygen stock. In the past week, it has sent medical oxygen tankers to Goa, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu to meet the COVID needs of those states. How did they do it? The answer is a proactive state government and bureaucracy plus PISO, a government department that is responsible for monitoring and ensuring the supply of medical oxygen to all states and union territories. Every state has its own unit. The Kerala state unit, along with its state health department, was monitoring the oxygen needs of the state since last year. And because of its proactiveness and because it diverted industrial oxygen towards medical use, it has ensured that the state has surplus oxygen supply. My point is, it can be done. Kerala has shown that it can be done. Now, what is the center doing right now? Center is doing right now what it should have done last year. Now it is trying to divert oxygen from industrial to medical use. It's trying to import about 50,000 tons of medical oxygen from abroad. It is trying to import ready-made plants from Germany and other places to produce oxygen immediately. All this is last minute. And as some say, too little, too late. Some estimates are saying that these imports will actually come in by May or mid-May or end of May. How many lives are we going to lose till then? So even as I record this episode of The Note, some hospitals in Delhi have stopped taking any new admissions because they don't have adequate oxygen supply. It's a reality. People are standing outside huge lines and not being given admission because the hospitals can't do anything. They don't have oxygen. And every person who's COVID positive and is in a critical state requires oxygen. Those who are on ventilator require 28 liters per minute. Those who are not require 10 liters per minute. The Delhi High Court made a very telling statement. They said, we know this country is being run by God. Listeners, ladies and gentlemen, we are gasping for breath. Our nation and its healthcare is on ventilator.
If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are @IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm Mahrukh Inayat on Twitter and Mahrukh Inayat on Instagram as well.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, thewholetruthfoods.com, Seat, PayPal, and Cred. We thank you all for your support. Tune into The Note, where Mahrukh Inayat talks to Dr. Bipin Joshi about the second wave of COVID. He calls it no less than World War III. On The Habit Coach, Ashton was joined by Yoshita Dave, who's a sex educator and intimacy coach. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam Gupta was joined by Amit Thakkar and Hiral Jain of Market Pulse Technologies, and they talked about trading in Indian markets. All Things Policy by the Takshashila Institute had on board Mihir Mahajan and Pranay Kotastane to talk about the recent changes in the Indian intellectual property front. You should definitely check out the Cyrus Says episode with Ace casting director Mukesh Chabra. They discussed some of his best work. We also had Ira Mukhoti, who has authored various books on history and mythology from a female gaze. The IPL season's in full swing, and we have Edges and Sledges in English and Khel Niti in Hindi if you want to check out cricket content. Really great conversations on both of those shows. Do check those out. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Want to learn something new and have a few minutes to spare? Well, then go for the Traveling Professor's Diary, where I, Siddharth Deshmukh, the Traveling Professor, will help you glean from all the insights that I've gained from wherever I've traveled, learned, taught, and repeated. Join me every Tuesday and Thursday on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.